You can get like Cornish pasties all over the world, right? So if the pasty is crimped over the top versus around the side of the pasty, if it's crimped over the top, it is not a Cornish pasty. And in Cornwall, you would be shot on sight for making such a thing. Cornish pasties are amazing if you get a proper one. If you ever have a bad one, it's because you're not in Cornwall. If you ever have a bad one in Cornwall, it means the police are on their way to raid and shoot on sight everyone in the building. So I would leave that building very, very quickly. Very big deal in Cornwall. We know this because we once put an advert up for our business in Cornwall, and we used a company who were not from the area, and they put a photo up of a Cornish pasty that was crimped over the top, and we had hundreds of complaints, because they said, that's not a Cornish pasty, you're supposed to be from the region, you know, what are you doing? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to come back to pasties because right now we're in Jova. So we have things to do, and this town looks really, really cool because it has a windmill, and windmills make everything look 10 times better. By the way, I said I'd come back to pasties because the reason they're crimped on the side, by the way, it's not like, you know, just an aesthetic thing. Because there was a lot of mining in Cornwall. That's where the Cornish pasty was, of course, invented. And what they would do is they would wrap up the meat and the veg and stuff in the pastry, send it down the mines, and have a big, thick, crimped crust on it, that the miners with their dirty hands could hold that thick crust and not get their food dirty, right? So they'd hold the crust, eat the whole thing, and then throw the crust away at the end because it was covered in coal or whatever, you know, that they had all over their hands. And so that's why it has to be crimped that way to be a proper Cornish pasty.